For all the support you give us. I want to use this opportunity to thank Graham Birdsall to invite me here in England to present you what has been happening in my country over the last years. I think it has been an incredible opportunity to get in touch with you incredible people who are willing to understand and believe that something extraordinary is being happening in my country and around the world over the last years. At this moment, I want to start presenting what I call special cases from Mexico. And I'm going to start with what I call anomalies. What are these anomalies? I'm going to present you two anomalies. First, the so-called chupacabras. This creature appeared in my country in 1994. Then we didn't have a name for it. We didn't know what it was. But many animals were being killed over many areas in Mexico. And then we learned through television, through the American television that is being watched in Spanish in my country, the Spanish-speaking television from Miami and Los Angeles, about this phenomenon that was occurring in Puerto Rico and other countries in South America, the so-called chupacabras. Then, by 1996, we had a name for this phenomenon. Over the night, many animals were killed in the farms, in the countryside. 30, 40 sheep or chicken or small animals appear with holes in their body and no blood. Very soon, many thought that this was something related to extraterrestrials because we know about the mutilations in the United States and other parts of the world. And then many thought that this was also related to the extraterrestrial phenomenon. However, we had many doubts about that because there was not any proof that this was related to the extraterrestrial phenomenon. And now we know for sure that it's not related, but it's an anomaly that tells us that many times there are things in our planet that we don't know they exist, but they are there, almost in front of our eyes, and we cannot see them. And that proves that many times probably the extraterrestrial phenomenon is also probably something very similar. I mean, something we cannot see many times and is in front of our eyes. These so-called chupacabras, as I said, in 1996, attacked in almost all my country, in almost every state, hundreds of cases, hundreds of thousands of animals were killed that year, and nobody knew what it was until now. I received this photograph that I'm going to present you in May 5th of this year in Juarez City, a city that is in the border of Mexico and the US. And what you will see is probably not related, as I said, to the extraterrestrial phenomenon, but probably to a mutation or probably to a prehistoric animal, the pterodactylus. Let's start watching some images from this case. Oh, before I do that, This case that I'm going to present happened on May the 3rd, 1996, in the state of Puebla, again, close to the volcano that I talked about yesterday. This case, it happened around 12 o'clock at night. 3 animals, 3 chips, were attacked at 12 o'clock at night. And when the cameras arrived, this was around 12 o'clock the next day, noon. One of the animals was in very good health, just some scratches in the back. The other animal had 2 holes with very fresh blood, not coagulated, in the neck. And the third animal had 2 big holes in the chest, 2 6 centimeters holes. It's almost 2 inches, every one of these holes in the chest. The animal was alive, but in very bad shape. Then the owners decided to sacrifice this animal because it was suffering. When they did that, the animal was open in 2. And incredibly, as you will see, there was no blood. Not a single drop of blood in this animal. How can this be? How is it possible that we have an animal alive, because it was alive, with no blood for 12 hours? And that has been proved. I mean, a doctor made this, the autopsy of the animal, and it proved that something very strange had happened there. For that reason, I believe these chupacabras, that we should change that name because it's a funny name. It means goat sucker, and it has reduced the seriousness about this creature. But I think it would be very interesting for science to capture one of these animals, because if we learn what kind of substance injects to the victims, we would probably be able to solve many sicknesses. We would be able to make surgery to an open heart, stop completely the heart, and not, without putting in risk, in danger, the life of the patient. I think this animal has continued the attacks, not as in 1996, but I am very sure that we should put a lot of attention to it, because if we can capture one, and if we can analyze what kind of substance is this, as I said, it would be an incredible advance for science. Let's then watch some images of this so-called anomaly. This is the animal that was alive with 2 holes in the neck, and the blood was not coagulated, as you see. This is not going to be very nice, but I think it's important. You can see that in the animal there were some scratches in the back. We now know that has big nails, like a bear. This is the other animal after it was sacrificed, and you can see 2 big holes in the chest that were made by this anomaly. By the way, this chupacabras has attacked at least 12 people in Mexico and has killed 1 woman in the desert. She was found with no blood in her veins. You see, they are opening now the animal. As I said, it's not nice, but the doctor is proving, and she's a scientist, that there is not a single drop of blood inside the animal. Not a single. And this animal was alive when the cameras arrived. Then I received this picture in May 1998. As you can see, it has 2 big wings probably 2 to 3 meters long. We have a little bottle that we were able to measure around 10 centimeters, probably 4 inches. We will see in detail this animal now. Look, the wings, very similar to the pterodactylus wings. Now you can see the head of this animal, and you can see 2 eyes, here and here. It's looking directly to the man who took this photograph. By the way, he thought it was a big crane. He didn't know this was the chupacabras. And you can see the long arms of the animal, of the creature, the big legs, very powerful legs, the breast, the back of the animal, very heavy animal. Look at the bottle. If this is 4 inches tall, how tall can be this animal? We consider that probably is more than 1 meter and 30 centimeters, probably a yard and a half. And there is something in the front of the mouth. You see the mouth is like a bird, and something is hanging here. It's a skin. Probably is the thing that it uses to suck the blood. And look, the head is like this, you know. Very, very strange creature. And this proves that exists, and it proves also that it hasn't been classified by science, and we don't really know what it is. But it's a very strange being, and the attacks have continued, as I said, over the last 2 years. Not as many, but still is there. And it's very dangerous for kids and small people. It could kill them easily. Very, very strange, don't you think? So look, the nails in the foot, in the legs. Now, as I said yesterday, I'm going to present you another anomaly. What Jose Escamilla, the discoverer of these creatures, say are rods. These rods were discovered in 1994 in New Mexico when he was recording a UFO, a normal, a little sphere in the space close to Roswell, New Mexico. And then when he analyzed the video frame by frame, he was able to see some things that moved very rapidly in front of the screen. He thought at that moment that those were other UFOs. And when he presented me that, I said, well, probably they are insects because they moved very fast in front of the camera, and that is why we cannot see them very easily, but they had to be insects. I didn't see any shape until June the 30th, 1998, when I attended a congress in Denver, Colorado, and he presented me another video, one that was recorded in Mexico. This video was presented by the Discovery Channel, not about rods, but people, you know, jumping into, parachuting into a very large cave, a cave that is 400 meters deep. It's also almost 450 yards deep. And when he saw that in television, he thought that he had discovered some rods there, and then he asked for the video. And this video was sent to him, and then he analyzed frame by frame this video, and he discovered these incredible, invisible flying serpents. When I said, and I asked you yesterday, if you believe in invisible flying serpents, probably you didn't believe in this, but and as I didn't believe in this. But now we know that they are not UFOs, they are creatures, anomalies, that prove also that there are things that are living here with us and we don't see them. And that would prove also that probably the extraterrestrial phenomenon is just about the same. If we have them, let's watch these so-called rods, because this is also a new reality, and Jose Escamilla believes that they are around the world, because there are many videos that he has received from Europe, Mexico, United States, Canada, and other places. Probably you would be able to record these rods if you use your camera with a shooter and runs very fast, 1/10,000 of a second, and you will be able to see exactly the same things here in England. Let's watch this video. This is the people jumping, as you see, and we see these strange creatures flying very close to them. If we can take out the audio because it's in Spanish. These were some of the first videos that I saw, and I thought they were insects because you couldn't see a thing, you know. They flew very fast, but they didn't have any shape, even though Jose Escamilla thought that they were probably UFOs that were flying so fast that we couldn't see them. And they are not UFOs, they are creatures. This is the video he recorded with a UFO and the rod that was in there. Many different videos that he had of the same kind. Then with this video that was taken in Mexico, we can see these creatures flying. You see, if they move, they fly easily. He thinks that they live there because there are so many there that they, look, here we can see them. Look the size, probably 2 meters, 2 yards. Look the wings. Look how they fly. They avoid the parachuters. This video is from the United States, and we can see the same kind of characteristics that we saw in the other video. And he believes that some of them are really big, probably 5-6 meters, and others are probably smaller. You see, this is another video from the United States. Organisms, flying organisms not unidentified. This is from Norway. He compared these animals to this kind of fish. Look, very clearly, look how big they are. And if I put the video in a normal speed, we wouldn't see a thing. You see, all these characteristics is the same in every video, in every single shot. This is United States again. This is Monterrey, Mexico. This is Norway again. You see it? They go very, very fast. We also are going to see an insect to see how different you can see an insect with this is a video that Jose Escamilla produced. I highly recommend you get it when you can. These are insects videotaped at 1/10,000 per second. You see? It's a fly. Here. We can really recognize at that speed in the shooter anything. Incredible. We have more rods from everywhere. He has more than 100 tapes with rods now. He also compared this to some fishes like this undulating fin. And we put that into a computer and make a comparison, and we were able more or less to see what is the movement, as you see, of the fins or the wings or whatever they are. This is the way they move. Look at them. This is a video from the United States. It means they are, look how they fly, how they vibrate. We have two of them here. The universities in the United States are now willing to analyze these objects or these creatures or whatever they are. We are going to go on November the 1st to this cave with a group of scientists from the United States and some Jose Escamilla, of course, and other people to this cave in Mexico in the state of San Luis Potosí to record more rods. And with this, they will be included into the encyclopedia of the animals, of the creatures living here with us. As you see, at normal speed, we don't see a thing. These are birds that like to go into the cave. And this has been running at normal speed. At normal speed, you don't see a thing. If you want to go on parachute there, you are welcome. November the 1st. Graham, you are invited if you want to come. Well, just to record something. But you see, there is nothing, you don't see a thing in there. But then, when we put frame by frame, we were able to discover almost in every take, in every shot. Again, nothing is there. We don't see that thing with our eyes. We have to do it frame by frame, or very slow motion. Like here, look how they move around. And look how many they are. We should be more humble, you know, we should have an open mind, because there are so many other things that are living here with us and we don't see. Probably it's a different dimension. If you want to find out what is a different dimension, probably this is it. And they avoid the parachuters. They don't collapse with them. It means they can see us, but we can't see them. And if a man, the size of a man is 1 meter and 80 centimeters, 6 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, this is almost the same size. Now you believe in the invisible flying serpents? Now you believe, Graham? It's very clear. Look, the wings or the fins. What is going to happen with science when we have to accept that there are things that we cannot see and they exist here on Earth? It doesn't mean this is related to extraterrestrials. They are here. How do they reproduce? How do they live? How long they live? Why we haven't found a single body of these things? These are questions that are going to have to be solved in the future, because there are no answers for that at this moment. But video, it's allowing us to see so much more, not just UFOs, but also different creatures. And as the chupacabras is living here with us, these things are living here with us too. I wonder if these people will have parachute if they knew. They came out and they didn't see it, I think, you know. The word for me, it's just incredible. I didn't believe in this until 2 months ago. And now I have to accept that I don't know everything. As you know, as you don't know everything, or even neither Graham knows everything. Here is very, very clear. You will hear more and more about rods, and probably the UFO investigators are going to take this subject too, because it's so different that nobody else is willing or prepared to do it. You see how it moves? You can see the body, and again, normal speed, not a thing. These are the rods. Now, let's talk again about the subject that brought us here together again. How can we know all these UFOs in Mexico are really from the space, extraterrestrials? How can we be so sure that probably some other intelligences are maneuvering these objects or flying objects, however you want to, UFOs, ovnis? How can we be sure? There is one case in Mexico that happened on September 15th and 16th, 1994, a case that was very well documented, where a housewife recorded what we think is an extraterrestrial creature. On the night of September 15th, almost half of the people of a little town called Metepec in the state of Mexico, close to Toluca, saw a huge UFO, probably 50 meters, 60 yards in diameter. This object was also observed by the people in the Tower of Control in the International Airport of Mexico City. They were testing that night, is the Independence Night of Mexico, September 15, 16th. They were testing the new computerized, digitalized equipment that is now on service in the airport. Probably it was at that time the most advanced system in the world. And they were able to see this object on the radar for almost 5 to 6 hours. They even thought that the new equipment was wrong, was not good, because this object didn't move and was there for so long until it disappeared. And then they say, well, probably something we didn't know, is something that was included here to test it. We don't know what it happened, but now it's over and that's it. The next night, this housewife, Sara Cuevas, was prepared to record whatever could be presented again, because she didn't have a camera the night before, and then she was ready with a camera to record this object if it came again. Incredibly for her, she observed a light in front of her house where there is a corn crop, and she started to zoom into this light and record this light, when she realized that this was a creature, not a UFO. It was a creature that moved, had eyes, mouth, very sad eyes, as she describes this being, with a suit and a space suit that covered part of the neck and the whole body. It had something holding in the hand, And then she recorded 21 seconds. Then this creature disappeared because she started yelling at it. She was so scared that probably, you know, it really also terrified the being, you know, the little being. It felt like, you know, I'm being observed, I better leave here. Unfortunately, because she only recorded 21 seconds. Then we were called to the place. The video was presented to us at the beginning. We didn't see clearly, but we have observed this video thousands and thousands, and I don't exaggerate, of times. We are able now even to see the eyes, the hand, and everything in this creature. Then over the next 10 days, there were other sightings in the area, and the people in the airport, when they learned that the object that they had seen in the radar was a reality, they decided to take readings in the radar over the next 10 days. And they had 5 other sightings in that days. With that information, we took a helicopter and we went to the places where this object was observed in the radar. And incredibly, we found the same kind of elements that we found in Metepec, where the creature and the object were seen on September 15 and 16. It's also similar to the crop circles in England, but we don't have a shape. It's very irregular what we see there, but the plants are in the same pattern that we have observed here in England over the years. This element proved that their sightings were real. Why? Because we went to the other 5 places, not with reports from people who had seen UFOs, but with the information from the radar. Then it's impossible to host this because nobody else had this information but the people in the radar. And besides, 10 days later, after the sighting of this creature, right in the same place where it was recorded, we found a plant, a pumpkin plant with 100 leaves, and every leaf was different from the other, as you will see. Let's watch these evidences, these images that can prove exactly what I am saying. This is Metepec. This is the area where this being was recorded on the night of September 16. This is the house of Miss Sara Cuevas. Miss Sara Cuevas. This is the this is the house right here, okay, and the being, the creature, was right here. As you observe, there is an anomaly, and then we found very similar things to what you have in here. You see, and we have found an H here, and it seems like letters, like a D and like an H. And then we have this one, probably like the circles at the beginning, not so very well done. You see, and some rays like a sun here or something like that. In the middle of 2 electric towers. This is the 4th area, and we see also some kind of, I don't know, anomaly there, energy there, that affected the plants. And here too, and this is the 5th, and you can see the plants almost in a pattern like here in England. It's different, though, but it proves that something happened there, especially when we had the sightings in the radar. You see a small circle here and all this. And we went to these places with the people from the Tower of Control because they were also very, very excited about it. And this is the plant. As you see, every leaf is different from the other. We will see clearer now. Look at this one. And this is the same plant. What kind of energy disturbed this plant? Look, this one. These both are from the same plant. Some of these leaves were dividing into 5 or 6 different leaves. How strange. Unfortunately, this plant was destroyed the night we left after doing these recordings. We took this plant to the university in Mexico, and they didn't find any reason, any virus, any bacteria to believe that there was an alteration of that plant. There was not a reason there. This is the housewife that is describing the big chip, and also, like Ananda said in one of the sightings in Hungary, they saw many little lights around the big object. Like this is the object according to Sara Cuevas, and the little lights, if you remember how Ananda presented the case. And this is the being according to Miss Sara Cuevas. She was impressed by the sadness of the being, very sad eyes, and the movements it made. This was made by a painter, a professional painter, according to Sara Cuevas too. And she was impressed also by these eyes. This is the kind of sight of eyes that the creature had. And had 2 antennas, not 1, but 2 antennas. The feet were not so big, as we will see in the video, but the hand was also a little bit longer than normal, than usual. Now let's watch. Now please, can you put the original audio? Heiger?
Erika, te lo juro por mi madre, qué feo está. Diosito, Diosito lindo, Erika, que Dios me perdone, Señor. Tú vas a ver en el video. Qué feo, ya se va Erika. Es un enano. Erika, qué horrible animal. Erika, ya se... Una persona está volteando a verme, Erika. Erika, te lo juro por mi madre, qué feo está. Diosito, Diosito lindo, Erika, que Dios me perdone, Señor. Tú vas a ver en el video. Qué feo, ya se va Erika. Es un enano. Erika, qué horrible animal.
Now let's see, can we stop it? I'm going to make the translation. She's saying something like, that's a person is looking to me, how ugly, please God forgive me. It's a dwarf, it's going, you will see in the video, you will see. Now let's see this, leave it like that. Here we have one antenna, the other antenna. The creature is reflecting light from inside. No, we prove that in a computer, that the light is not being directed to the being, but from the being to the outside. And because of that, we are able to see the feet. This is the arm, a little longer than normal, something in the hand. This is the shoulder. This is something covering, from the suit covering part of the neck. We can see the mouth here. The eyes are around this area. And this is the head, the brain. Okay. Look, the movement of the head. If you follow the movement of the antennas, you can see how it moves twice and leaves. Here are the antennas. This is the mouth. Now is the feet is moving the head. We look the back of the head now with the antennas here. 2 antennas very clearly. It's moving back, the eyes, the long mouth, like a mantis, like Yvonne said yesterday. Probably it's the same kind of beings. You know? Do you want to watch it again? No? Okay. Can we go to the other video? For me, this case is absolutely real. For me, this creature is also absolutely real. Because nobody has been able to prove that there is a hoax. Some people don't believe in it because it's not so clear. But after watching these images for so many times, I have come to the conclusion that the whole case is absolutely real. As I understand, Carlos Diaz was here with you last year. I was the investigator who took this case first in October 31st, 1991, just after the eclipse and when this flap was beginning in Mexico. As you know, Carlos Diaz claims to be in touch with some beings that he calls the light beings, beings or seres de luz, beings that are here living with us, which are human, which are really worried about the future of Earth. This very first image, as you are seeing, was taken in 1979 by Carlos before he had his first contact. It seems that he had been chosen because this was taken in his house in Mexico City before he moved to Tepoztlan, a volcanic area also in the state of Morelos, where many people have claimed to see UFOs. This was the first image, the first time that he photographed the object. If we can stop it here, please. He's a professional photographer, and he was very close to Mexico in the mountains, looking east of Mexico City, because he wanted to get a sunrise, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. When he saw light, he was very close to the edge of the road, as you see here, and he thought that he was looking something was burning under the how do you say, the ridge, is correct? And he observed this light coming up, and as you see here, he took it in 1/15 of a second. Then the object, this is not the real shape of the object. The object is being reflected over the car, over the hook of the car, and you can see also that the lights of the car turn really, really bright. And the car, as Carlos says, started shaking. I was able to go to this place, and I found that all these plants had grown and completely obscured the sight of this area over the last 10 years. I went there in 1991. Please. I think this is a very good case of one contactee. As you can see, there are no lights now from the car. The object is being reflected in the hook of the car. Now this is the third picture out of 15 that he took that night, the first night. A plasma object, this object is not solid, it's plasmatic. These pictures were taken when I started the investigation, because I asked Carlos to take more and more pictures of this, because he claimed that he was still in touch. Look, these little lights. Oh, the tracking. Okay, look, these little things that are in the object. He says that he has gone into the object, but he has to do it in the clear areas because the red areas are really hot. And he took dozens and dozens of pictures. And I asked Carlos if I could go with him, and he said that he didn't know when he was going to have a contact, that he felt it here in his body, and then is when he knew that they were coming, and this was not on daily basis. We can see some energy around the object, ionization, probably very hot air around the object, because when they create a vacuum, they push the air molecules away, and then the friction creates that kind of energy. Then I asked if he could have a video, because I just didn't need pictures, but a video. And this is the first video he took on December 3rd, 1991. This is the object very far away. But as we can see, it has the same shape. And then the object got closer. Look the movement, because this was taken with a tripod. Then the movement is the movement of the object, according to Carlos, of course. And then disappears in one frame. This is the area where this object was. This is Tepoztlan. I highly recommend you to go to Tepoztlan if you go to Mexico. It's not very far from Mexico City. It's an hour from Mexico City. And it's a magical place. Then I asked Carlos, can you take a light with you? Can you illuminate yourself? Because we need that to prove that you are there. But I didn't know he had a very small lamp. And here the objects appear, and as you can see here, Carlos is still moving, and then he realizes that the object is there, and then you see he takes the lamp like this. The lamp doesn't move here. There is another light here from a house. The object was here, and this is a highway. Then he took this video under the object, and you can see how it changes energy, and something is pulsating in the middle of it. This is the only contact of its kind. Carlos, after the first sighting, looked for it. He went to the mountains where he had the first sighting until he found the object, and he lost conscience there. These are some of the analysis of the energy. And then after that, he got in touch with them, and he told me they were teachers in school. They use Volkswagens. He said, I don't know why, but they always use Volkswagens. And we compare this to a cell. This is a cell, a human cell. And the similarity, of course, we don't have energy as we have here, but we can see different fields of energy around the object. Unfortunately, Carlos has not taken anyone to any contact, and he claims that he has been in the bases, underground bases of these creatures, of these extraterrestrials, but there is not a way to prove it. He says that he has now more videos, but I'm not investigating more the case because for me it was a little bit frustrating not to have more elements to really make this case credible. It's up to him. It's up to him. As you know, contactees are not always easy. They have been living a very difficult reality, a reality that is not official for everybody else. Then they react differently. As we see here, there is reflection of the object to this plant. And he's now here giving a message because these beings are really worried with the future of Earth. They say that the light around the Earth has changed and that life is changing in the Earth. The planet, they say, is dying. And all these creatures, according to Carlos, they have taken cells from every creature on Earth to be able to put them back when the destruction is over. According to him, if we don't destroy the planet, we can't recuperate all these species because they have samples from every one of them. A very extraordinary case, without a doubt. I wish Carlos had been more open, because with this case we would prove that this whole phenomenon is real. And these are the species that they are trying to save in our dear planet Earth, our dear mother. That's the Carlos Diaz case. I hope we will have more news from it in the future, because by now, as I said, I have stopped all the investigation. As I know, Michael Heisman from Germany is investigating the case. I hope that he is going to be able to finish, because he's also a little bit desperate, because Carlos, it doesn't open the case. And that's very unfortunate. I hope Carlos said last year in the conference in Acapulco that in 1998 he was going to open the case and he was going to provide more elements for his story, but he hasn't done that yet, and I don't know if he's going to do it. You know, it's, as I said, contactees are not always easy to understand. Sometimes they are difficult to understand. Even though Carlos is a very good friend, I am still his friend. I talk to him frequently, but I am not at this moment investigating the case. For me, it's a real case, but for some reason, I don't understand all the things that Carlos is doing. Probably somehow he has become in his mind also an extraterrestrial, and he is afraid from us. He's afraid what we are going to do with the case and what could happen to the extraterrestrials if he opens that they live with us. They are teachers in most of the cases in the schools with little kids. At least they do that in Mexico, and they have been living in Mexico almost for now 20 or 30 years, as according to Carlos. Now let's see the next video, please. Okay, stop it. I remember now. I forgot. Stop it. This is very important. And I think, is that a beginning? I think this is not a beginning. Can you check that, please, Chris? On September 26th, 1997, I was in my office, in the television office. I was ready to leave. This was a Friday, when I received an envelope with a letter and a video. The letter said that this man was skeptical until he had this experience. This experience was recorded in the video. This man who put a name that we proved that was a fake name, said that he wanted to remain anonymous, that I shouldn't look for him because he didn't want to open his personality, his name, on this subject because he was afraid he would suffer the consequences. He didn't mention where this recording was made. He didn't say how many witnesses were there. He didn't give too much information. All he said is that he took the camera of his boss when he saw this object, you know, in the sky behind the buildings, and he recorded 25 seconds of this. The camera was not his, and he couldn't tell me who was the owner of the camera. And with this information, I don't know if it was good or bad. I think it was bad for the investigation, but it was good to know where the place, the area where this was recorded was, and also it was good for my show because we got very good ratings. Yeah, I am a journalist. Remember, I am not a UFO expert. I am a journalist, you know, and then I thought that I had a good chance, first of all, to recognize the place, because Mexico City is huge. It's probably, and I don't exaggerate, 5 times or 6 times the size of London. If you can imagine what is that, then there are so many new areas, new buildings, because it's very clear that these buildings were new, that it would take me months, or probably I couldn't find them ever if I just did it by myself or my investigators. If you ask me now, what would you do if you received something similar? I wouldn't put it on the air, even if this was good for ratings. I would try, even if it took me months, to find the place, because then I could find the witnesses, and all the witnesses would have to be credible because they wouldn't have been contaminated as they were because I put it on the air. However, I believe that these witnesses, however they were contaminated, are sincere, are honest, especially one girl named Cassandra, then a 12-year-old, and now it's 13-year-old Cassandra, who was the first witness that I found. I asked her if she watched Third Millennium, my program, and she said, no, I don't watch your show, I am sorry. And I said, well, that is good, what's what you saw? And she describes exactly what she saw. And it's exactly what we see in the video, in the area at the time when this happened. I have to say that after I found the building, on the morning of the 29th of September, Monday, I asked people in the street, have you seen something strange here? I didn't mention UFO. I just said, have you seen something strange in this area? And this man, and this is very, very important, he said, my daughter saw something strange. She claims that she saw something strange 2 months ago. This is September 29th. The video is from August the 6th. Then it matched. Can you call your daughter? And he called his daughter, and we talked with her, and we made the interview. And the daughter said, when I saw it, and we checked that with her father, when I saw it, I told my father, there is a UFO here outside the house. Father, come and see it. Her father works from 4 o'clock in the morning. He sells tacos in the street, food, and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, he is so tired that normally he sleeps, and he was sleeping then, And he said that he was so tired that he didn't want to go out and see the UFO because he didn't believe in his daughter. He thought, and he told her, "You are crazy." And then she went out again and the object was not there. It means that the sighting lasted probably, if they record 25 seconds, probably the sighting lasted less than a minute. If this is true, it would prove why not so many people saw it. Second thing, it was raining. This is the rainy season in Mexico is from May to October. And this is in the middle of the rainy season. Another important thing, this video was recorded at 2,500 meters. That's almost 7 to 8,000 feet. It's very high. Then we have the clouds, very low. Mexico is not like England. Here the fog is common, is normal. In Mexico it's normal in the high altitude, but it's not normal in the low altitude. Then this was a high altitude. This was higher of Mexico City. As you see here, please don't run it yet. No, don't run it yet. This is a new area. There are not too many houses here. You can see there are many open areas in here. Not too many houses. It was raining. And again, it just lasted for 1 minute because even in GM they asked me, why not so many people saw it? Why not, if it's Mexico, we would expect that hundreds of thousands would have seen that. Probably if this was downtown Mexico, probably if it happened not in a rainy day, and probably if, again, was not in a suburb, probably more people would have watched and it would have lasted longer, more than 1 minute. 1 minute is too little to have a sight. If you don't see it, you don't see it. I mean, you don't have a time to call a friend or to call other people into the area and to see the UFO. It's an explanation because in reality, I don't know why no more people saw it. But something also interesting is that many people, according to the witnesses, many of the people who were walking there, they said, look at that. They look at that, they turned down, and they continued walking, you know. They didn't want to see that. It was so close. It was big. Probably, we consider that this was probably 10 to 15 meters, 15 to 20 yards, probably. Or no, it's 13 to 17 yards. In diameter. It's a guess because we don't know. I also have to say that I consider some of the reasons why this person hasn't come out yet, even though in our program we ask many times, please, if you record this, come into the open, because if it's anonymous, we cannot take it for real. If it's anonymous, if we cannot put a name and a last name to this sighting, to this object, then we cannot consider it real, because there is a possibility that this is a hoax. This is a real possibility. I, in my heart, believe is real, but just in my heart, and because of some of the witnesses, 20 or more witnesses, many of them kids. They don't have a reason to lie. And Cassandra, again, without seeing the video, and her family also say that they didn't watch Third Millennium. Then, if they didn't watch my program and she saw it, just with that witness, this would have to be truth. But again, if this man hasn't come out yet, then unfortunately we are still waiting to see if sometime he will come out. What are the reasons probably he hasn't come out? First, probably he made something illegal. Some of the people in the area who knew him, because I found the office, I know 20 people there, and one of them recorded this. But as he said in the letter, I want to remain anonymous, please don't look for me. I was almost ready, I was desperate, and I was ready to take the police there because I wanted to find this man. But I said, well, if this man doesn't want to be recognized, he has the right. It would be unethical for me to go there and force this man to come out. Then I decided, no, I have to investigate. I have to take this video to the expert. I took it to Jim De La Toso, who sent it also to Bruce Maccabee, and both of them agree that they have reasons to believe this was real. And then other experts, those who made the special effects of the Titanic, one of them said, it's real, this is the real McCoy, this is the smoking gun, they said, and the other expert said, no, this is a hoax, because this was being moved by a helicopter. That I can tell you for sure. This was not moved by a helicopter. It's not possible. It will have to be over the clouds, more than 200 to 300 meters over the object. Can you imagine a helicopter moving something like that? Close to the buildings, to the wires, so dangerous and so heavy. Impossible. And then many other people would have seen that, because this is not close to the airport. This is in the other side of the city from the airport. Then would be, I mean, some people would have seen it coming from down with the wire and being moved into the area, don't you think? Then, for sure. And besides, De La Toso analyzed the movements, and you heard it yesterday, that this object doesn't move like it is in a wire. Then, no. If this is a hoax, this was generated in a computer. Okay, a year has passed and nobody else has produced something like this. For me, proves that it's possible real. I have challenged openly in the United States, in Mexico. I do it here and now in England. If you can do something like this in the computer, please do it. Because I want to know. I want to know as you want to know. You know, I would have been, you know, the first to feel bad if this is not real, because then somebody made a joke on me. Another thing is, according to some, yeah, this was generated in a computer, but with very expensive equipment. Who has that expensive equipment in Mexico? And how many hours are you going to put to this? According to one man, what is his name from MUFON, Graham Sinus, this was made in a computer, huh?
Nothing.
Okay. This was made in a computer after hundreds of hours of work. Who is going to do that? For what? To make a joke because they have make any money from it? Not fame nor anything. They haven't claimed, oh, Jaime, I made a joke on Jaime. Nobody, you know. Then I haven't found the reason to do this. However, we have to be open to any possibility. Okay, the second reason that I thought why this man doesn't want to come out, the first is he's afraid because he made something illegal. Some people, as I said that he was from Central America, an illegal alien in Mexico, and then he didn't want to be known. Or probably he's a Mexican that made something illegal. And can you imagine the attraction of the media to this man if he came into the open? His life would have to change completely. Then that's one reason. The other reason, the company where this was recorded is an American company. A company that is there to give a consultant, to give advice to the other American companies that want to settle in Mexico. Then you know what is the policy in the United States, especially with these kind of companies. You are not going to be related to UFOs. We are going to lose our clients. They are going to say we are crazy. And then if this is proved to be a hoax, we are over forever again. Then that's the second reason. The company didn't want to be publicized. And the third reason is because it's a hoax. That are the three reasons we believe we don't have the shooter yet. Okay, let's watch this video. And please put it back with the audio. Probably you haven't heard the audio ever. And listen careful to the audio, even though you don't understand. Hear the synchronization, no, from the beginning, please. There. Hear the synchronization. Put it loud. Look the excitement. Hear the excitement.
Se ve perfecto. Se ve perfecto. Órale.
Do you see?
Está un poquito prendido. Se ve padrísimo. No es un avión de esa madre. No lo veo. No.
They are looking for it.
Edificio, espérame. ¿De otro lado? ¿Ya no está?
It's not there. You see, if this is a hoax, these are genius. Look the movement. If somebody wants to prove that this is a hoax, I think what Ananda did is very fine. If we want to prove this is a hoax, let's make it again. Don't you think? If they want to prove the crop circles video is a hoax, let's make it again. It's the only way. Because it's how easy it is to say, oh, that's a hoax because this and this. This man from MUFON said, it's a hoax. It's 1 in a trillionth the possibility that this is real. If you take the age of the universe in seconds, from 15,000 million years ago to now, it has passed just 500 billion seconds. Can you imagine? What is a trillion? Then I don't think that analysis is objective. This man wants to feel he is so right. And this is the avenue. We found the buildings. We went there. This was recorded on the morning of Monday the 29th. It means that my program was very successful because I had the report right away. This is the building where this was recorded. A very obscure building. You don't know who is in there. You know, high security. We surprised them. They didn't expect us. If you want to go inside now, it's not possible. There are many guards who are not going to allow you to do anything there. We were able to do it because they didn't expect us. They didn't know a thing. You see, we found the area without a doubt. The witnesses. She is Cassandra. This is a large object that was going in circles very, very fast. I looked up. It was very big and was moving and moving and moving. I was tense. I didn't know what to do. When I reacted, I entered my house. I told my father. It was in the middle of that two buildings. It's when I saw it. I just saw it for a little time. This is the manager of a restaurant. It was a very cloudy day. That's why I was looking out of the street, and then I saw this object moving over those buildings. Something was moving there. It was something unusual. It made 4 movements there. and then when went there, disappear. It is a flying object with a head, like a cupola. I don't know how you say that. I saw it just for a few seconds. I was with a client here. This kid, he didn't know what he saw, but he saw it. He thought it was an airplane until he saw my show. Then he realized that it was something different. Then he realized that what it was. It was a solid object, but at the same time transparent. She suffered injuries in her arms and the face, like a sunburn. She felt something that was pushing her to the ground because she was under the object. And he heard something like gas escaping. It was static, but at the same time moving. Like in the video, well, when I saw the video, I saw that it was moving the same way, but when I saw it was faster and faster. Okay. This is our universe, and as I said, these are the possibilities for us tomorrow that we will travel to these billions and billions of galaxies. But before we finish this, I want to repeat for you, please, can we stop this? I want to repeat the video from yesterday, the video from the crop circles, because many people asked me to do that. It was a surprise for me that this video hasn't been presented in the British television. You know, it was a real, if I knew I had presented this video in the interview they made to me at GM, because I believe it's a very important video. Again, like the Mexican video and like anything else. Do you know anything in this investigation, the UFO investigation, that hasn't been attacked? The Adamski case, Daniel Fry's case, the Billy Mayer case, the crop circles, the videos from Mexican, this video, what else? The autopsy, you know, the alien from Area 651, I don't know if you have seen that too, which is alive. Everything has been challenged by the same UFO investigators. It's okay to do it because we don't want hoaxes to be real, you know, but at the same time, then what is real? What is real? You know, we have to accept some of these cases as real because we don't have the elements, and if we want to prove something, as I said, we have to do it again. Nobody has been able to reproduce the autopsy, the so-called autopsy, so far. Nobody has been able to reproduce the video from here, from the crop circles, even though it has been attacked, and some people has been trying to do it. This is the Oliver Castle, where the plants are growing again in the same pattern. And you have here, in 4.5 seconds, with a perfect perspective, and then you have two other spheres that go there, fly, and leave. Let's do that in a video. This is not an easy task. This is the view. Look how perfect it is. Again, we can distinguish between those who have been made by humans and those who have been made by what we think is another intelligence, because they are perfect. Okay, now you want to put the other video again? Ah, you want to see it again? Yeah? Okay. What's your opinion on it? This was recorded in Oliver Castle on the Sunday morning of August 11th, 1996. And you can see these spheres, and these spheres have been recorded close to the Concorde, if you have seen it, and many other times in the crop circles, these spheres, similar to those that we have in Mexico. Look how they fly, 2 of them. If I made a hoax of something like this, I would have made something different, probably a chip making it, or some extraterrestrials there, or, you know. You know, do it like this, like Duke and Dave, you know. Incredible. I want to see someone who is able to reproduce this in a computer. I am not saying it's impossible, but I say it's very difficult. You would need very good experts. And again, nobody has made a penny with this video. Nobody has been presented around the world, but in England. Can you believe that?
Why was this particular person filming this field?
According to him, is Graham here? What is his name? It was anonymous at the beginning, but then someone found the name of this man. It seems... What? Can you say it louder? Wiley. Something like that, right? It seems that this man went all the night to this area with his girlfriend because he wanted to record UFOs, more than crop circles, UFOs. And this was 6:30 in the morning when he heard a noise. And he saw 2 of these spheres advancing. We know some other investigators who have heard these noises related to the creation of the circles, okay? He heard the noise, and then he started recording this. And do we have the audio? Can you put it again with the audio? Because there is audio, just one word. And he said, "It's amazing." For me, it's like the Mexican video. When you say it was like this, and when it moves, it says, "Órale." It's synchronicity between the voice and what is happening there. That's a very important element for me. With the audio. No. Look, there were... He's nervous.
Okay.
Nobody has mentioned a word about the audio. But for me, it's a very important element. And he's nervous. If this is a hoax, again, he's a genius because he made it exactly. He was excited. Okay, he was with his girlfriend, and then he was expecting this UFO. He took the spheres, then he took the video, and he left the video in a place where the crop circle investigators, Colin Andrews and others get together there, and he just left the video there, and then they took this video, and he didn't even mention the crop circle formation. He said, this is a video with some spheres on it. And then they saw the spheres, and then they realized that this was there. It was the formation of the crop circle. Then, since Colin Andrews has been attacked so many times, by so many ways, he was really afraid. This could be a hoax. This could destroy me if I say something in favor of this video, I don't know, I'm going to be, very objective, I'm going to stand in the back, whatever. He didn't take it as real, and he's afraid up until this moment that this is a hoax. It could be a hoax, but it's a very complicated hoax. I tell you, because I work in television, this is not easy to do. Some people here try to do it. Is that real, Graham? Probably he doesn't believe in it, huh? And they couldn't do it. They couldn't recreate something. We haven't seen anything like this. And it's very important. It's even more important than the video in Mexico for me. Why? Because if this is real, it means there is another intelligence, and it means more than just a simple sighting, that they want to communicate with us. This is the real proof. I hope with time, because I feel that many times the UFO investigators take conclusions right away. Sometimes these kind of investigations take years. If we have another video that claims to be real by somebody else, something similar, probably we will be able to say, now we have the right to believe this is true. Because another thing, this figure was created at that moment or that night. It was not there the day before. Okay, then, if somebody made that in a computer and had this idea to create this circle, they made it perfect on the field, because this figure was also on the field. Look how complicated, not just to work in a computer, also to go and work in that place. It means they had to take the video before, do it in the computer, then go back, recreate the whole figure at that night, just in one night, because they couldn't do it just half of it and the next day the other half. Had to be done all together, because the images of the real figure were taken noon that Sunday 11th of August 1996. For all these reasons, even though I am not an expert in the crop circles, I haven't come here to investigate. I was going to come here to do my own research this year, and I couldn't do it. I'm going to do it next year. And even though I am not an expert, for me it's very impressive, very impressive. And I heard, oh, that's a hoax, and who made it? We don't know who made it yet. Why they did it, where they did it, how they did it. Not a single answer to all of that. It means that instead of saying this is real or this is a hoax, let's investigate more. Let's find the man, because we know who did it. Let's go and talk to him now. Probably he will tell us more now. If he says he's a hoax, okay, it's a hoax. Tell us how you did it, But I don't think simple answers should be accepted for very complicated and special evidences. Well, that's what I think, and I hope we will have some answers in the future, because if this is real, again, this is communication, which is the most important thing. If in Mexico they are trying to communicate, I believe here in England also they try to communicate. Now, can we put the other video? The one that was running before with the galaxies. The video, the number 4, where the UFO from Lomas is, the number 4, where it was. With the sound, please, because I'm going to. Please think in this universe. They say 50 billion galaxies. with so many billions in every star, how many possibilities that we will find intelligent life in the universe? I say probably billions of different civilizations are living in the same universe that we are. And we have the chance to be in touch with all these civilizations in the future. And I cannot let go this opportunity again to remind you how important is that we do something now, because very soon it would be irreversible. Many of the changes that we are creating in this planet will be here forever. The extinction of the animals is forever. The extinction of many plants is also forever. Probably we will be able to recuperate some of the jungles and the woods, but we will lose so much life for the future. I hope I can motivate you to think in those who haven't been born. I hope I will motivate you to understand that we won't be the last generation on this earth. I hope I will motivate you to be different, to not to be selfish. We can do so much for those who are not here, who haven't been born. Just imagine your grandsons and the grandsons of your grandsons. Just imagine other generations of human beings. That's the whole thing. The real message from these beings is that we will be able to do it if we are smart enough to make this civilization persist. Probably in the future, Earth will survive. Probably even mankind will survive, but our civilization won't survive. As this song is saying, let's save our planet. Let's save what we have. Let's save the green of the jungles, the white of the birds, the blue of the ocean. Let's save all of that for the next generations. I hope I was able to motivate you to think in those. There is this text that was found, a Hindu text in a very old text that said that we didn't inherit the earth from our fathers, but we are borrowing the earth from our sons, from our children. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.